Welcome back. For everyone who does not know me yet, my name is Bianca Emilio. I'm a yoga instructor and occupational therapist. So today I would like to share some exercises to strengthen your wrists. Yogis, rock climbers, tennis players, everyone who is involved in any kinds of exercises need strong wrists. If you are just working on, strengthening your arms, your shoulders, holding on to your dumbbells, you always need strong wrists. So I just want to share a few exercises I am working on. I have worked with when I was suffering from tendinitis. So I hope this helps you. As you can see, I have a little different setup today. So if you have, grab dumbbells, light baby dumbbells. Grab a hammer if you have one at home. I also created a little friction piece here with two balls, and I made a knot in between my sock to kind of have a hold for each hand. And I will get to this later, but I also put a weight on it so that it's a little bit more intense. You could even, if you don't have dumbbells, you could use a bottle of water, or be creative, a container of milk and fill it up a little bit or something like this. So there's actually no limit for your creativity. So build what you have at home. You can even hold a broom. It might be a little bit too thin, but try it out. Give it a shot. And then I have this here. You could also use a regular band, an exercise band to use it for the exercise I'm showing you. So we are working on flexion, extension, pronation, supination, and I really want you to focus on what is mostly important, to sit somewhere. You could even sit next to a chair where you have the possibility to lay down your arm and to really isolate your wrists, because we don't want to work on elbow, we don't want to work on shoulders, we really want to work on your wrist here. So make sure that wherever you are, you can really bring this arm down to work on your wrist. And then let's just get started. So there are different options. If you want to really exercise and build strength in your wrist, you want to hold on to your dumbbell and just gently lay your dumbbell on your palm. And we're not grabbing the dumbbell and be really tense. We're just gonna roll our fingers around it and just, slightly gently hold on to it. Now again, I am connected here. My elbow is relaxing onto my leg, onto my right leg, right? So right hand is holding onto your dumbbell. Now from here, you really want to see if you can relax your hand down to find this extension in your wrist. Now from this extension, we want to work towards flexion. So we're going to lift the weight off and we're going to bring the weight closer towards our inner arm, okay? And again, if you get out, find this extension again, go into most of your relaxation possible, and then gently find your flexion again. Now how this looks from the side, you're really gonna hold on, relax everything down, and then gently flex as far as you can and extend as far as you can. Relax. Maybe even let your weight, your dumbbell, all the way into your fingers roll. Let it all the way roll down into your fingers. And then from here, find your extension again. And you can start with 10-15 rounds each exercise. And I would do it at least 3 times. Okay, that's number 1. Now the second option is to face your right palm down to the floor, hold on to your weight again, to your dumbbell again, relax your arm onto your leg, and then we're gonna start from flexion. So we relax the hand down, the dumbbell is laying in our hands here, and then we're gonna work on extension. And you might feel there's a difference. You might feel that your flexion is stronger than your extension. And that is okay. So you want to work on this to really get a strong, strong wrist. Okay? 10 to 15 times, 3 rows if you can. Okay? If you need to start with one, that's okay too. Yeah, be really gentle and mindful. Now, the other option is to face your palm in, hold on to your weight. And again, we are not really extremely holding on tight to the weight, we are just having it gently in our hand. And now from here, we're gonna find extension and flexion again, but more on the in and outside. Okay, so we will lift up, flex the wrist, and then exhale out, extend it. And again, we go 10 to 15 times, 3 rounds. Start with small weights, so really be mindful about this exercise, be careful. Okay, this is exercise number 3. Now, the last exercise is with my little creation here. Again, I used tennis balls and just hung on my little weight here, and you kind of need to, equalize it out, or at least switch the sides of the balls then at the end. And you're gonna hold your arms up and forward, and you're just gonna pretend you are wringing out your towel, whatever you have. So you're just creating this rolling motion. And we are still working again on flexion and extension here, just in a different way, yeah? So you hang this out. If this is a lot for you in your shoulders, and you would just really want to work on your wrists again, just lay down your arms onto your legs, and then just work from here. Okay? So be creative there. There's no limit for what you can use and what not. Now, you can also use those straps here or your exercise bands. I like to put them under my feet, and then I'm just holding on. Why I like those? Because I have those handles, so it's easier to actually hold on to. And again, you work on flexion, right? You can work on extension. Okay? You could even work with your thumb up. Yeah? I can show this again from the side so you can see it better. Same exercises, flexion, extension. Okay. Good. From here now, I'm going to introduce 2 more movements, which are supination and pronation. So again, grab your weight, and this time you want to hold it so that your thumb is pointing up and your palm is pointing in. Again, I'm holding it very loose. I'm not gripping and be very intense about it, okay? Now from here, I gently pronate my wrist. So I'm facing my palm down towards the floor. And then from here, I go back to neutral, and then I find supination, facing my palm up to the ceiling. And you can go slow here, there's no rush. Really be aware of your movements. Start slow. And just find your strength here in supination and pronation. Okay. If you want to see it from the side, I show it from the side too as well. So again, palms face in, thumbs pointing up, pinky finger is down, the top of the hand points out. Holding on to my right, and then again I'm facing my palm down to the floor. As you can see, my wrist here is still tight from my tendinitis, so I work on this a lot. And then from here go into neutral, and then point the palm up to the ceiling, find your supination. And then just go from there, very slowly, pronation, supination. Okay? Now, hammer, that's my favorite. What I like about the hammer, it helps you to stretch your wrists. So especially when you have tendinitis, when you have issues, this is super helpful. If you hold on closer to the top of your hammer, it's easier. The further you go down, it becomes harder. So you, the same way, gonna hold on to your hammer, and then you can also do supination and pronation, right? Pronation here, bringing the palm down towards the floor, and you can see, because the weight is further on my inside now, it really helps me to stretch my right wrist here. And then from here, I find supination, and it again really helps me to stretch my wrist. Great tool. Again, go further down, it will be intensified, the stretch will be intensified. It really feels great, I love it. There's no better than this. And let's face it, almost everyone has a hammer at home, right? So easy tool to use. And then the other option is again to hold on to your hammer this way. Again, it's easier when you're closer to this, to the top, to the head of your hammer. And then you can find this extension and flexion again. Okay. So yeah, so there are really no limits to your creativity, and as you can see, you can use a lot of tools, weights. I can just tell you, it is so important to really warm up your wrists, strengthen your wrists, and then you will feel so much stronger in your practices, whatever this is, yoga, in your exercises, in your sports, in, I don't know, practicing handstands. So I really hope this helps you to be a little bit creative and to really give your wrists the attention it needs. Thank you so much for joining me. This was a little bit different. Subscribe, like it, connect with me on Instagram if you haven't yet, yogi.bianca. On Facebook, I also have a webpage, BaliYogaForTheSpecialChild.com. If you want to find out more about my schedule, come and join me. I would love to have you. Have a lovely day, everyone. Thanks for joining me, and until then, namaste.